on the 17th of April 2024 at around 7 o'clock in the morning. 30-year-old Armand Swart had just arrived at his workplace at the Q-Tech engineering company based in the township of Vereeniging in the city of Johannesburg. His white Isuzu Bakkie was parked right in front of the gate at his workplace. After opening the electric gate preparing to drive in, a white Hyundai i20 suddenly pulled up next to him. The occupants of the Hyundai i20 fired several shots into the driver's door of Armand's Bakkie, after which the attackers sped away. Armand was reportedly hit by more than 20 bullets. By the time his colleagues rushed to his side, he lay dead, slumped in the cab of his car. The street where the murder took place was closed for quite a while after this, as the police investigation was underway. Luckily for the South African police, the murder was captured by CCTV cameras in front of Armand's workplace. A few hours after the murder, police found out that not one, but two vehicles, a Mercedes-Benz C-Class and the Hyundai i20, were used in the attack. When they tracked the Hyundai's license plates, their investigation led them to Bramley, a residential area located north of the city of Johannesburg, which is an hour away from the scene of the murder. An operational plan was carried out by the SAPS task force, and two suspects were caught and arrested. The Hyundai i20 with fake license plates was seized. An unlicensed AK-47 rifle, two handguns and ammunition were found and seized inside the car. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class, with fake number plates, was also found along the R59 highway shortly afterwards.
So what do you too? We already know, bro. We're watching the Cartels of Johannesburg. So please like that video and comment down below what you would love to see me react to next. You feel me? Let's get it.
Firearm, ammunition, and spent cartridge were found in the vehicle, and another suspect was arrested at the scene. The three individuals who were arrested for the murder of Armand Swart were Michael Tau, Tego Mabusela, and Musa Kakana. On the 27th of April 2024, the three suspects appeared at the Vereeniging Magistrates Court. The trio was facing charges of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and illegal weapons possession. During their court appearance, the state revealed that one of the accused, Michael Tau, is a veteran detective within the South African Police Service with over 30 years' experience. The state alleged that as a detective, Tau would have unfettered access to police profiling tools containing all aspects of personal information as well as the police's internal case system. This access could provide invaluable intelligence if a police officer went rogue, beneficial both before and after the crime. It is believed that the trio had followed and surveilled Swart on his daily commute from his home in Vanderbijlpark and his job at the Metalworks Engineering Company in Vereeniging. A picture of their target was shared among the three suspects, and according to cell phone tower analysis, the men could be placed conducting surveillance as early as the 13th of April, and they conducted surveillance at or near the murder scene on April 14th, 15th, and the 16th of April. 2 weeks before Swart was shot dead, the engineering company which he worked for blew the whistle on a huge Transnet tender price inflation scheme that saw the cost of a single contract gouged by more than 4,500%. It is alleged that Swart's company discovered an innocuous railway component, a simple spring no larger than a finger, they produced and sold for R3.20, had then been sold on to Transnet with a tag of R152. With the state-owned enterprise buying a consignment of 8,000 of these springs, what should have been a R25,000 purchase became one worth more than R1.2 million. This pricing...
You know, like, we have more corruption than we realize. No, you see, inshallah. Sorry. But what Bajazak and feed. And they don't care as long as Bajazak. You feel me? So it's that thing of like, these type of things happened like behind closed doors.
Discrepancy was even reported to Transnet and also the Department of Public Enterprises on the 4th of April. After reporting the price surge, one of the company's managers was marked for death, with an unknown paymaster placing a bounty of 1 million rand on his head. The state revealed that Swart was unfortunately not the intended target of the hit, and his murder was a case of mistaken identity. Swart was just a general worker at the company. The hit was meant for his manager. At the time Swart was killed, the alleged hitmen had 6 convictions and 6 pending cases between them. Tao had convictions for assault and kidnapping stretching back to 2003, despite being in the police force for over 3 decades. Mabusela was tied to pending cases related to a 2019 cash-in-transit heist, fraud, and the possession of a stolen car. The third suspect, Kakana, was formally convicted of housebreaking, theft, malicious damage to property, and possession of illegal firearms. In each separate brush with the law,
You know what's crazy? There's actually people that live this life, bro. It's kind of crazy, but yo, bruh. You know, we would think that these things don't really happen like that, but there's people that's just like a daily breed.
handed only suspended sentences. Kakana also faces 2 attempted murder charges and a rape charge in a separate case from 2023. One of the attempted murder charges that he is facing, along with Mabusela, is for the attempted murder of South African actor Teboho Thobojan. In October 2023, Thobojan's car was shot at by masked gunmen as she was driving from St. Champagne Lounge in Sandton with a friend and their driver. According to reports, they had just had drinks and dinner with a few friends. Thobojan was traveling in a BMW and was seated at the back with a friend. Another friend was driving behind them in her car. The gunmen overtook the friend's vehicle, got in between the 2 cars, and opened fire at Thobojan's vehicle from behind. Thobojan, who is famous for her role in the Venda soap opera Muvango, was shot in the foot while her friend was shot in the spinal cord. The 3 suspects in the Armand murder case were linked to the attempted murder of Thobojan because the weapons which were used in the murder, an AK-47 and a 9mm pistol, along with cell phones, were confiscated by the police. A ballistics expert from the Political Killings Task Team examined the guns. However, the day after the crucial ballistics report was issued, on the 31st of December 2024, the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, issued a letter to National Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Fanny Masemola requesting that the Political Killings Task Team be disbanded and also to freeze the filling of vacancies in the Crime Intelligence Unit. The Political Killings Task Team was formed in 2018 after the assassination of ANC activist Musawenkosi Kashana Mchunu. The task team was created by President Cyril Ramaphosa to investigate suspected political killings in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Backed by a multi-agency presidential task force and praised for its prosecution-led intelligence-driven strategy, the team had by 2025 investigated more than 600 politically related dockets, arrested 436 suspects, and recovered over 156 firearms, with at least 55 of them linked to political crimes. Their convictions to date total over 1,800 years in prison across more than 100 cases. According to the Minister of Police, however, the Political Killings Task Team was disbanded because it was no longer necessary because it's not adding value to policing.
But to be honest, I think the people in the higher positions pay hitmen more than anybody else, bro. So hey, bro, there wouldn't be a way for them to stop hitmen because they pay them as well, you know.
The disbandment of the task team was followed by a series of internal memos from the South African Police's crime detection head, Lieutenant General Shadrach Sibia, withdrawing 121 case dockets from the team without the approval of the national or provincial commissioners. These dockets have reportedly sat untouched at the SAPS head office ever since. Despite this instruction, the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, said at the time he would continue the fight to ensure the task team was allowed to proceed with high-profile investigations. Mkhwanazi said members of the task team were working with detectives in the province of Gauteng on possible cover-ups in murder cases in the country that involved senior police officers. According to the police, the 3 individuals who were involved in the murder of Armand Swart and the attempted murder of Tebogo Thobojane were part of a bigger criminal organization that was linked to other assassination-style murders happening in the country. The police alleges that this Gauteng-based criminal organization defines the very nature of an organized crime structure, with members ranked according to power and ruthlessness, money obtained through a multitude of criminal activities laundered via businesses and assets, the utilization of law enforcement officers for criminal activities, intelligence gathering and protection against prosecution, and an abundance of illegal weapons used to execute anyone who attempts to stand in the way of their racketeering activity. One of the senior members of this criminal organization is a man named Katiso Molefe. Molefe is said to be a businessman from Sandton. He is currently in prison for the murder of Armand Swart. The state alleges that he was the mastermind and the paymaster behind the hit. According to the state, this was not Molefe's first run-in with the law. In 2003, he and 2 others were arrested at a United Kingdom flat with 25,000 ecstasy pills, 5.2 kilograms of cannabis and multiple firearms.
Damn,
He would be incarcerated for that, and
that's actually crazy, bro. That's actually very crazy. I feel like, bro, everybody that goes into things like this have already been arrested or have already done something, maybe, ne? Because always he dog ne? What about always? And it's like they make money from that, they do.
Deported to South Africa and barred from ever visiting England again. The other individual, who the state alleges to be part of this criminal organization,